first thing I'll do is run straight to you. It's our anniversary. Anniversary. It's our anniversary.
Okay, as you might have heard, there's a big change coming to this time slot. The Beat with Ari Melber premieres on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Now, those of you who know Ari know that that's a bit of a double entendre, and you will come to understand it very well if you stick with this time slot. Ari has been all over the network these past few years, and we picked out a few quick highlights showing Ari breaking it down as only he can, reporting out in the field.
We're going to go to Ari Melber right now. Ari, I would imagine people are running behind you at the Supreme Court steps.
Speaking to you from the Supreme Court, we have read from the bench, there is a right to marriage equality. Do you know who this is? He's got a hearing on Monday.
Oh, Gorsuch.
Gorsuch. Do you think the Senate should confirm?
I have to hear some more about him because God knows what's going on.
We're talking about this at a bar in New York. When the organization was founded, a woman couldn't be at a bar alone in New York.
Cultural concept of being boss, as Ice Cube explained. Jay-Z, who famously said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." Ice always said, "Stop, collaborate, and listen."
Rachel, doesn't it kind of drive you nuts where in the last minute, Ari Melber drops a bomb where you would like to do another 10 minutes just on that?
He's a consequential man, this Melber fellow.
Investigators. Why did he meet with so many Russians? Why the talk of back channels and dirt on Hillary? Today, Kushner revealed his answer. When things went wrong, he wasn't paying attention. Jared Kushner came out swinging today, not with a tweet like his father-in-law or with a TV interview, the method so many White House aides deploy to reach the boss. No, Kushner made his case in a carefully crafted statement for congressional investigators, and he lays out a simple story. He was overworked, out of the loop, and unaware of any suspicious activities around him. This is an ignorance defense.
The fact that a foreign government would interfere in our election should trouble all of us.
There is no Russian connection.
Do you think President Donald Trump may have to ultimately testify?
He absolutely may have to testify. These stupid investigations is like dangling the shiny object, saying, here, look at it. We were attacked by the Russian government. The problem is that isn't a crime.
Our coverage of this deadly attack in New York City does continue right now. Washington is completing funding for one hurricane while bracing for another.
He didn't attack country music, he attacked America.
Displaying Khodorkovsky in a steel cage.
I was knifed in the face while sleeping.
56 days left for children's health care unless our Congress acts. The president blocked you. What do you want to say to him?
32 million people will lose their health insurance.
Do you think that former felons or ex-convicts like yourself should have the right to vote?
The media isn't covering what he accomplishes. The media jumps on it for every little thing they can possibly find.
Now. You're on the show right now with the media. Mark, do you still think transparency would be inconvenient when it might actually protect our elections?
We're shifting the blame and the shame.
I say that to a lot of addicts that, you know, it does quit until it quits working.
Thank you for being here.
Congratulations on this scoop, man. I'm super jealous.
With Russian jokes, are we supposed to laugh or cry?
With nearly all Russian jokes, you laugh through the tears.
A lot of important stories there. We also this year had some fun.
Ari, we are totally psyched. Good evening.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Good evening. This is what a honey badger presidency looks like.
Look at your outfit. You look like you're trying to sell me a casket.
There are a lot more people who don't know your show. Fact.
Oh, thanks, Ari. Sounds a lot like your show. Trust me, I wanted to do Mad Out. Wasn't asked.
Honey badger don't care.
Any dude that has a comb over like that lies to himself all the time. No, I'm just telling you.
Katie, I just want to say I thought that was # an interesting segment. As we always say at this time, I will see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
I didn't know we were doing this. I would have brought my Mariners hat.
For what? Do they play in October?
I don't know if you ever listened to reggae or Peter Tosh. He had a famous song, Legalize It.
No, I've not.
It's about us. It's about trust, is what I remember. You're not shouting out Bill Crystal?
I've seen Bill Crystal on TV, but I don't know a man like that yet. So, you know,
okay. Hey Bill, we don't know you like that.
I'm speechless. What can I say?
I ain't got to talk it because I live it. Anthony Scaramucci is a studio gangster.
Bob Mueller is like a diver with huge lung capacity.
It could explode into a full tsunami.
To borrow a rap lyric, he said, "Don't hate the player, hate the game."
Is Mike Flynn this jellyfish? You didn't just bring a leather jacket, you brought receipts.
That's what I do.
Without talking to this guy is like doing Hamlet without Hamlet.
The Hamlet, of course, raises the issue of all of the Denmark sanctions in that play. Just a sanctions joke there, Brian. Yeah, nothing. And Seth, we don't just report anything on the internet. Also, it would take too long because it's big. There's so much on the internet. Internet joke, quiet panel. She wasn't interested in searching for explosives, so now she's moving on to other things, Rev.
Well, she might have found something more interesting to sniff.
Katie, all I can say is this is why I watch. Kamala Harris is.
Almost done with this interview.
Do you want to end on a slow handshake?
Very slow.
Real slow.
Yeah, very, very
slow.
slow.
Like almost you want it to end.
That is true.
Now, Ari Melber, rap genius.
I don't know how much hip-hop you listen to. There's a famous song, "It's Going Down in the DM." That refers to what happens with direct messaging. You know, we're talking about Rick Gates. I don't know if you ever listened to the rapper Kevin Gates, who says, "All my diamonds shining because they're really diamonds." Call it the Dr. Dre rule of politics. When you diss Trump, you diss yourself. Lauryn Hill famously said, "It ain't about what you cop, it's about what you keep." To paraphrase Kanye West, you'll have to wait for the 35th of Nebuary. The 35th of Nebuary. Well, you know what Kanye calls that, is the 35th of Nebuary. I'm worried that we're going to run out of our Kanye references. Here's how the rapper Drake explains that narrative lesson. You can't listen to me talk and then tell my story. You can't listen to me talk and go tell my story. Nah, it don't work like that when you love somebody. There's a saying in hip-hop that can also apply to Russian meddling: can't stop, won't stop. My view is, I am having you on the beat. Didn't I tell you that?
Word up.
Word.
Ari Melber, Rap Genius Volume 2, just Jay-Z quotes.
But the press may need to rethink this approach and take some advice from Jay-Z. We know the pain is real, but you can't heal what you never reveal. I don't know how much you listen to Jay-Z, but you know, he said, if money talks, the whole world's about to hear me out. As Jay-Z would say, either love me or leave me alone. As you know, Jay-Z says, what's better than one billionaire? Two, as Jay-Z said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. A wise man told me, don't argue with fools, because people from a distance can't tell who is who. Plead the fifth when it comes to the fam. I'm like a dog. I never speak, but I understand. I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. Jay-Z always says the streets is watching. The streets is watching. The street is watching.
Also, nobody mentioned reasonable doubt. You have to acquit.
You mean Jay-Z's first album?
Listen, I'm not going to mess with Ms. Chica here. She's got all the words, and the word is a bore, and Kanye's abhorrent, for sure. And no, she said everything that needed to be said regarding Kanye. Drop that mic.
The mic was clearly dropped, and there was a loud set of reverberations there because people saw what you said, and I would.
They're not going to send me to jail. You know what, Mr. Mueller, if he wants to send me to jail, he can send me to jail, and then I'll laugh about it, and I'll make a bigger spectacle than I am on your TV show. Right? What they did tell me was I wasn't going to be a subject or target, and I was going to get the same kind of immunity. But they wanted something. Now, Ari, let me just say something.
They offered you immunity?
Yes. Ari tried to set something up.
Did they say that to you or your lawyer?
Said my lawyer. I haven't communicated directly with them.
Do you think Carter Page has criminal exposure?
I think Carter Page colluded with the Russians. And I've told you that before. I've told you that privately. I think he colluded with the Russians. And they're right, and they probably have something on Trump. Trump did something pretty bad. I think they were interested in something with his business.
With his business?
Yes. Here's what I would say, Ari, is Roger Stone is like a surrogate father. He's like my father.
You feel loyal to him?
And I'm not going to go in there for them to set up a case against Roger.
I think your family wants you home for Thanksgiving, and I hope you will testify.
Here's the thing, though. Isn't this ridiculous?
No, it's not ridiculous, Sam.
Is it November?
It's so not ridiculous. Sam, you got immunity. So you certainly don't have any reason not to testify, right? As you told us today. Not only that, it actually makes it appear that Roger Stone has something to hide because you will not go testify.
He has nothing to hide.
Well, then go testify.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Okay, so I don't mind about testifying. I'm not going to sit there for 80 hours for this document request. I have real work to do. I have to earn a living. I don't think this is fair.
Is it possible that in the heat of this, you're having a very strong reaction based on the strong feelings you have, and that over time, you might come around to a different view of this? Is it possible that this is coming in the heat of the moment?
I think that in our discussion and what you said, I would have no problem going to the grand jury. But I, once again, don't want to have to spend 80 hours going over email.
You'd rather spend possibly a year in jail than 80 hours going through
I'm not
emails.
going to jail. You think I'm going to jail? I think it was good.
In 90 seconds, Ari. You don't have very long.
Sam, you can walk right this way.
Yeah. Giving you good advice.
All right. I hope you listen. I hope you're all right, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
What do you think?
We'll find out. I'll talk to you, all right?